Am I coming in loud and clear? Let me find out. And test, test, test. Let me find out. All good. Okay. Give me a few minutes to get this shared out. And then we'll pick up where we left off. Description. General. Okay, almost done and we can get rolling. My last stream of this actually got a copyright claim. And it's also marked as not advertiser friendly. It got a not advertiser friendly mark as well. Hey Interval, how's it going? And I'm guessing it had to do with the trans-temporal involuntary commitment scene. But here we go with Chapter 2.
Previously on Alan Wake. I came to Bright Falls with my wife, Alice.
Thank you for coming here with me. I thought maybe you could write here.
I don't want to hear it! God damn it, Alice! Now, she's missing. Alice? Alice? I woke up behind the wheel of a crashed car. I'm missing a week. I was attacked by shadowy men straight from a nightmare. The sheriff took me to the lake Alice and I had stayed at. But the cabin had disappeared.
And hold on, I'll be back in a minute.
Honey, I'm home.
Back here, sweetie. How was it?
Worst weather I've ever seen.
You should put some coffee on. It'll warm you up.
So, how's your day going, Interval?
Coffee's on.
Great, thanks. I'll need it if I'm gonna finish this by tomorrow.
Oh, hey, I just finished those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
No kidding. I didn't think you'd get them done this quickly.
On occasion, I can perform all sorts of miracles, my dear.
Oh, really?
Well, you seemed to think so last night.
It's pretty hot over here, too. It's been in the 90s this week.
These look really good.
Oh, sure.
I pulled something in my elbow. I had to go to CVS to get something.
The last time was the last time.
They didn't have any elbow support in my sides.
Alan, please check the fuse box.
So I had to get a knee support. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll play the DLC.
I've got the flashlight.
Okay. Hi.
You okay?
I'm sorry.
Even though...
It just really spooked me.
YYTT, how's it going, man?
I know it's stupid, but it's
Not
just,
joint pain, I
especially
pulled
when
something in
I'm
it.
for you know? It gets to me.
I love you.
Tell me a story, writer.
Okay. I used to have these nightmares when I was a kid. The dark really spooked me, too. When it got really bad, my mom gave me this old...
You know what? I'm gonna take care of that beep.
Yeah. If I ever got scared of the dark, I could just flip the switch and a magic light would scare the monsters away.
Oh, sure.
Here it is.
Alan.
Maybe it'll help you, too.
Yeah, nice story, writer boy. You made that up right now, didn't you?
No. Seriously.
I love you, even if you are a liar. Thanks for this.
How do you feel, Mr. Wake? Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that? Mr. Wake, how are you feeling?
I didn't get them both, but the one by me shouldn't be beeping.
I had to lie about my headache and memory loss. He'd send me to a hospital for tests. I couldn't leave without Alice.
Very well. I don't think you have a concussion, but you've obviously been through quite a shock. You should take it easy for a couple of days.
Thanks.
Well then, Mr. Wake, we're done here. If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker, is waiting for you. She's very good at her job. I'm sure she can locate your wife in no time.
Doc Nelson was the image of a small-town doctor. Sheriff Breaker had called him to the station to take a look at the cut in my head. I'm sorry you had to cut your morning fishing short for this, Doc.
Oh, she's a beauty, ain't she? Not the biggest I ever caught, if you can believe that coming from an old fisherman like me, but she's right up there. Now, she's a largemouth bass, which is what you're after if you prefer a lure. Now, if you want either trout or salmon, on the other hand, then it's fly fishing for you. You a fishing man, Mr. Wake? Oh, doesn't really matter, I suppose. But it can be very relaxing out there. You can't get me off the water this time of year. Closest thing to heaven.
I'll take your word for it, Doc.
By the way, Angela, if you're watching this after the fact, happy birthday and check the description. If you join in later, I'm gonna wish you happy birthday and tell you to check the description.
Testing the lights, Miss Weaver. Everything seems to be fine.
I don't have the luxury of being complacent, Deputy Grant. The bulbs will need changing soon. You can't change them in...
I'll be sure to tell
I got to watch The Pale Rider for the first time today.
Mr. Wake, your phone's on the desk. The battery was dead. It's charged now.
Have you started looking for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
Yeah, this
Not
is chapter
sure.
2.
I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake? How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd lock me up. Excuse me. I need to take this.
Hello?
Alice, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lovers.
It's one of the copper ones.
Don't do nothing stupid, pal. We're watching you.
There's been a lot of missing persons here lately.
Mr. Wade, can I help you with anything?
They didn't have much to choose from.
The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course, Mr. Wade. You can get there through the cell corridor.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Hey, you're all right. You're a good guy. Don't let anybody...
And I wanted something that can stay on while I sleep.
The cops, they got it all wrong. See, sure, I beat him up, but I wasn't drunk. I mean, I wasn't drunk at the time. I only got drunk afterward. Okay, listen.
The early morning light hurt my eyes and made my head ache. The man on the phone had said, go through the fence on the left.
Well, folks, it's been another long night, and it's about time for me to sign off for a while. God knows I need my beauty sleep. Just one more item before I go. It's been a busy night for the sheriff's department. We've had a few broken windows, even a report of shots fired on Main Street. Deputies Mulligan and Thornton had to deal with two intoxicated young men who were celebrating the completion of their Deer Fest float. Now, folks, we get this every year. I know it's exciting, the big day is almost here, but let's save it for the party and leave the gunplay for the shooting competition. No point in getting all worked up yet.
Run from the copyright claim!
Alice's driver's license had been placed on the front seat. The caller meant business.
Barry?
Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week, you and Alice. I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Ow! What the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
But yeah, I got to see Pale Rider for the first time. It was a pretty good movie.
A writer is a light that reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness. The way a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. It's possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
Unfortunately, I had to get Pale Rider in a double pack with Outlaw Josie Wales, which I already have in a double pack with Unforgiven, which is a pretty appropriate... It's a pretty appropriate double pack because Unforgiven could easily be a sequel to Josie Wales.
Are you feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
Oh, hey! Take it easy.
This guy starts out annoying, but you grow to love him.
His agent? If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I sick my lawyers on your asses.
No harm done, Sarah. I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer still stands.
Get me out of here.
What the hell was that about, Al? We don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
I had to talk to someone. I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Mr. Wake! Barry, you found him!
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow. I was just thinking about you, too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
Who's Max?
What an airhead.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl and, more importantly, a fan. She even has a fan site dedicated to you. And she was very helpful when I was looking for you. Seriously, Al, what you were saying in the car, just listen to yourself. What, you shot a guy and his body just disappeared? When was the last time you slept? What, are you high? Have you been drinking?
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week, and someone's got Alice, and everything's just...
What it sounds like when you say stuff like that? Don't get me wrong, this story would be a bestseller.
Easy there, boy. I'm almost done.
Hey, Rusty, right? You rent cabins.
Oh, Mr. Wake. I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full here. Actually, I'm sorry about this. Would you mind grabbing the registration form from the desk? It's just across from Bucktooth Charlie.
Okay, sure. What happened?
Crazy poachers. Max here got his foot caught in a trap. They're illegal to use here. Hell, you're not supposed to hunt within the park at all. But that doesn't stop some lowlifes. Well, at least Max is gonna be okay. He got lucky. Max is still groggy from the shot I gave him, and I'd rather not leave him alone just yet. The form's on the desk across from the mammoth skeleton.
Seriously, Al, you can't just go and meet a kidnapper. Those situations always end up in disaster. You gotta talk to the cops.
She's my wife, and it's my call. Can we talk about this later?
No. This whole thing... Listen, you hit your head. I mean, geez, Al, come on. You gotta understand how crazy all this sounds.
It won't sound crazy for long, Barry.
It's working. Ha-ha, let's have a laugh on Barry. Well, you had me going there real funny, Al. You can quit it now.
I think this is the form you wanted.
And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Wake. Glad to have you staying here.
Thanks. Can you tell me how to get to Lover's Peak?
Oh, sure. It's at the end of the nature trail. Just follow the paths, you'll get to it eventually. It's an easy walk. Nice spot, too.
Look, Al, you're asking me to believe that you shot a dude who went poof, into thin air, a guy who was bulletproof until you pointed a flashlight at him. You hear that from people who end up spending time in padded rooms. Strapped to their beds, wearing white shirts with too long tangled up sleeves, and eating a healthy diet of pills. Al, you make cruel jokes about people who believe that.
Yeah, they all are great films.
Al? We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her! This is not a goddamn debate, Barry. I'm going to Lover's Peak. He said to come alone.
Okay then. I understand. You're my best friend and I'm
Thanks,
worried
Interval.
that you're not right in the head. Tell me what to do to help and I'll do it.
You stay here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
Just be careful with the natives, Al. These yokels are dangerous. Everybody hates a tourist, or it'll be delivered.
Yeah, that light'll stay on. Batteries. Out of those three, I think Pale Rider might be my favorite. Favorite Western, Rio Bravo.
Barry had the keys to the car he rented. Wasn't a long walk to the visitor center, and it wouldn't be any use to me in the forest. I knew I should have gone to the cops. This wasn't the smartest thing I'd ever done, but I was still angry with Barry for trying to talk me out of it. These people had called me right in the sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had Alice.
Rio Bravo was a great story. Okay, I am armed.
Welcome back to the show, folks. As promised, our very own Dr. Nelson has just parked his rear end in the studio. Doc, what's your Deerfest plan like?
My plan? You make it sound a lot more organized than I ever seem to manage.
Oh.
No plan, really. Just taking the atmosphere. I'm getting a little too rickety to do much more than that, you know.
Oh, tell me about it. No sack race for us older gentlemen, huh?
Yes, exactly that. But I'm not going out the parade, of course. And I'll be one of the pie contest judges, too.
Well, that takes a different kind of constitution.
Oh, yeah. It's my kind of exercise.
Now, Doc, seriously, you're in pretty good shape. You're the outdoors type. I know for a fact you're an avid fisherman.
That's right. Matter of fact, just caught a head of a largemouth bass early this morning.
But you're not taking part in the fishing contest?
No, not this year. See, Pat, I'm just not that competitive anymore. Now I just like to take my time and enjoy the peace of it. It's no fun if I need to worry about what I'm catching, you know?
Considering your track record, the participants are probably pretty happy you feel that way.
Well, Pat, that's kind of you to say.
I finally got to watch The Mule. It wasn't... It's not bad, but it's not great either. I really feel like Gran Torino should have been Clint Eastwood's last film he both made and directed. What, The Mule? Yeah, it is kind of hard to pay attention to, and the film really isn't clear whether should you feel sympathetic for this guy or not.
Crime and punishment. answer and cure of civilization. But some crimes are impossible to punish, especially in Night Springs. Tonight's episode, The Man in the Mirror.
He's inside, Agent. He's a weird one.
So, you're confessing to killing that guy, huh? Why?
Had it coming?
Yeah, but why would you do that? I mean, you're a nice guy. Normal. Took a kid to a soccer game. So how come at the game, you pick a guy and, quoting from the arresting officer's report here, assault the victim's head area repeatedly with the weapon of choice being a pair of bare fists? Wow, that sentence really flows, huh? Maybe you're not the literary type. Okay, so you mess him up. But why? Who was that guy? We couldn't ID him. Why would a guy like you do him like that?
I didn't like his face.
Well, you must have hated it, because you really went to town there. I mean, there's no way to tell what he looked like. No ID on him either.
That must be difficult.
But then we ran the fingerprints. Got a match. Your prints. Identical.
Huh, how about that?
Your son said you were wearing a white shirt when he took him to the game. The white shirt is on the dead guy.
It's plenty red now.
You won't get away with this.
Do you really think that's in any way relevant to me? I had plenty of time to talk to my boy before the cops arrived, you know? He won't stop screaming, am I right? You think he's ever gonna be okay? I left my mark. Believe me.
You bastard.
What? You gonna shoot me? What's the point? I'm going to prison. You got me.
I don't understand any of this.
And you never will. Don't worry. Maybe you'll see an agent. Maybe in the mirror.
I need to see that one. That and Jeremiah Johnson. The way I describe this game, it's like a cross between Stephen King and The Twilight Zone. Noticed in the flashes. We seen a typewriter and a diver. And the island was called Diver's Island.
The ranger's office was locked. I'd need a key to get in.
Hello? Back here. I'm back here.
Mr. Wake?
Oh, hell. It happened just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must... The lights. In the office. I have the key.
Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back. Whatever did this couldn't be far. Rusty had found a page from the manuscript. It would help me understand what had happened.
The Shootist is another really good Western. And I'm finally...
The only way to make sure that Rusty was safe was to get the power running and the lights back on.
I'm finally checking the Man with No Name trilogy off the list.
I was too late. Someone had destroyed the circuit breaker. There was no way to get the lights back on.
Rusty!
The darkness. Someone's been...
Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in the wall.
Don't feed the animals.
Fishing! Purchase a park. License.
And the park ranger is taken. And he's one of the speedy ones. Yeah, these guys are a nuisance. I wonder what kind of new enemy types we're gonna have in Alan Wake. What kind of new enemy types we're gonna have in Alan Wake 2. Vehicle. Let's see what we got in here. Anything useful? And we have nothing useful and a crashed vehicle. But this game does a good job of capturing that alone in the woods feeling. And to keep with the theme of the game and it's safe in the light, if you really want to make this a creepy experience to play at home, play it in a well-lit room and have the lights turned off in every other room around you. You will get kind of an isolated feeling. And I went backwards. Come on, don't need to be making rookie mistakes like that while streaming. No, but I do have the lights off around in the dining room and in the bedroom to the side of the living room. Checkpoint.
What the hell was that? I saw it from the window. I saw something.
Forget about it, Barry. It's just me going crazy.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. You're not crazy. I wish you were crazy, but you're not crazy. Ow, be careful.
Stay in the cabin. Don't open the door for anyone. I mean it.
Come on, come on, come on. Give me goodies. No goodies and no stashes yet.
Lover's Peak was at the far end of the nature trail.
Finally, my first stash. I'd love to go see a cave like this. And shotgun. And now, I really hate how that just auto switches to the next weapon you pick up. Some of these encounters get pretty tricky as the game goes on. Look, this game will really test you. And it's never a good sign when the wind gets louder like this. Light, 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 light! Stay in the light. Easier said than done. There's a lot of lava tube caves in my area. These ones. Yeah, aside from some issues that you know what I'm talking about, like, you seem to live in a great area. Leave that up a second to give anyone a chance to read it again. There's a, if you want to call it a cave, a small cave near me. It's basically just a hole in some limestone that goes back about 7 or 8 feet straight. It used to be a nice swimming hole area, a little off the beaten path, but some bums started camping out there, and they've gotten the police keep up with that place as a hot spot, so it's not really anymore, unfortunately. I used to like the gold pan there. Never found anything, but it was fun. Reach Lover's Peak. Yeah, look at that. Alright, take it easy, YYTT. I do like how this area feels like a real... Like, I know Bright Falls is made up, but it feels and looks like a weird place, like somewhere I'd actually like to visit. Manuscript? Ugh, these... This would make me nervous, IRL. In fact, you probably wouldn't get me on one of these. It's bad enough when there's not birds trying to kill ya.
Come on, we gotta get moving. More of them coming. That flashlight's kid stuff. The flares will keep the bastards away.
You can see them too?
Hell, of course I see them. Come on, we gotta move.
Why?
Because that's the way the story goes.
Yeah, but...
Let's move!
I lost my gun back there.
Oh, I've got a gun. Just keep that light steady on.
It took a moment, but then I recognized him. He'd been on the ferry when I first arrived here with Alice. He knew my name. We were headed in the direction of Lover's Peak. There was no way this was a coincidence. He was the kidnapper.
Come on, wait, you better keep up.
This part I really don't like. You know, this is still one of my top 10 favorite games, but this whole having to aim the flashlight while someone else shoots. I'm just glad this is used limited. It works for what it is, but it's not perfect.
Use the flares from the emergency box to hold them off while I get these boards off.
Give me the gun.
Yeah, no can do.
Are you kidding? Give me the gun!
No time for back talk.
You better hurry up. There's 3 flares left, but 2 flares left. Back in the light. Come on, bud. We get to the light, we'll be safe.
Oh, you feeling better now, Wake? All cozy and safe. Better get ready. They'll be on us soon.
Oh, but man, you're lucky the game doesn't give me full control over this character, or I'd bust your head with the flashlight.
This is it, Wake. The last stand. There's more players here. Get ready. We fight them as long as they keep coming.
Give me the goddamn gun! They're coming!
That's not how this goes.
Come on, Wake, it'd be so easy. Why he's not looking. Hit him in the head with the flashlight. And we're surrounded! Hey, stop drinking coffee. Shoot!
Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife?
I knew you were gonna say that. I read it all before. You're a hell of a writer. Congratulations. You're gonna bring about something glorious and terrible once we get you some proper editorial control.
What the hell are you talking about? Where's Alice?
I want the entire manuscript, or she's gonna suffer bad.
You touch her mouth.
You're gonna give me the manuscript or you'll be sorry.
No! Come back here! I swear I'll kill you if you hurt Alice! Do you hear me? Come back here! He had Alice, and he wanted the manuscript because he thought it held some magical power. But I had
Careful.
I had to get back to Barry and figure out my next move.
So the new trailer for the new Toho Godzilla movie, for what little they showed, looks interesting. Those lights there, bear traps. A flare gun would be nice. And it's kind of cool how the game, like, up and told you in the beginning of this level, watch out for the traps. Now we So where am I supposed to go? Again, it can be a little bit of a irritating feature how easily Alan Wake gets winded, but again, I like it because, again, he's an author. He's not an athlete. He's no Chris Redfield or Leon Kennedy. His dodges are kind of clumsy. That being said, I hope he's more competent in the sequel. After surviving what all he did in this one, he ought to be more capable in... Could he have written himself to even be more capable in the sequel? It's not really... I mean, it's clear how the rules can't work with what he can and can't write, but it's also somewhat vague. The darkness really isn't a fan of plot holes. Again, you kinda gotta pick and choose where you stand and fight in this game. Sometimes if you're close enough to a light, you're better off just running for it. Yep, first death. Which I might make a running tally of. No. Let's get some light so we can checkpoint. Another manuscript and hunting rifle. I'd prefer the shotgun, but I'm not gonna sneeze at it. I generally prefer, even though it's not as good as the double barrel.
I had heard the plane fall. It made no sense. It was clear that it had just fallen here, but it was very old and obviously hadn't flown in decades. Looking at it sent a shiver down my spine.
Even though it's not as good as the double barrel, I actually prefer using the pump action shotgun when I get it, because less damage but better rate of fire. And in this game, sometimes you're better off having a better rate of fire versus damage. Some of that ink on there. Oh yeah, that's right. Flare gun, now we're cooking, but now is not the time for flares. Again, even though this isn't true survival horror, it does pay to save certain items. And in this game's case, the flare guns are invaluable later on in the level. Even though every now and then I might have to use one to get out of a tough spot. Now I got it. Another thermos, even. All they're good for is trophies and achievements. Like, the furnace doesn't get you much of anything. Same thing with, unless you're playing on the hardest difficulty, even the manuscripts are kind of pointless, because I don't know if it was changed for the remaster, but in the original release, you could only get all the manuscript pages if you played on the hardest difficulty. Which is weird. No true ending is locked behind the manuscripts, but they're all getting them all is locked behind the hardest difficulty. Who spilled the ink? Well, I wasn't able to collect all the pages. You had to... Okay, thanks for clarifying that. I do think that's kind of, like, not cool considering nothing else is locked behind all the pages. That being said, I still absolutely love this game. And it's especially one, if you are, like, a fan of, like, Stephen King and the Twilight Zone, like, this is a must-play. Now... Yeah, you could really almost have imagined Stephen King writing a story like this. Paging Mr. Wake. Yeah, I mean, this is like... would have been like 70s to late 80s peak Stephen King. Yeah, to a degree, even though I don't fully see the, like, in the broad strokes, yes. Ugh. Okay, that's 2 deaths. Yeah, I think after this I will add the number of deaths into the description and just keep a running tab of how many times I die in this game just for the giggles.
Barry?
Ow! The porch is covered with birds. They've got all Hitchcock on me.
Stay out of sight. I'm on my way. Don't open the door.
Ugh.
Stay hidden. I'll be there.
One of my favorite parts in the game coming up. The best part for those of you watching, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it involves a concert stage on a farm. That part is just so much fun. And it's totally worth the copyright claim.
A story is not a machine that does what you tell it. A story is a beast with a life of its own. You can create it, shape it, but as the story grows, it starts wanting things of its own. Change one thing and you set off a chain reaction of events that spreads through the whole thing. The characters have to be true to themselves. The events need to follow a logic that fits the story. A single thing where the magic is going. The story dies. Alice dies.
Yeah, if I remember, this one did kill you quite a bit. Well, I played some Friday the 13th before the stream. I hope Harry Manfredini is right, because he teased there's another Friday the 13th game in the works. Even though I doubt even another Friday the 13th would recapture the magic of the One Gun Media made. But I would like to see something with a single-player aspect too, like the Dark Pictures format would be a fun single-player format for a Friday the 13th game. It'd be pretty hard to code two completely different games in one, but I think it might be able to work. Just imagine playing that and being able to make the choices and affect who lives and who dies in the game.
The flare gun was probably the best weapon I could imagine against the dark things I was facing. it was the kidnapper.
You son of a bitch! Where's my wife?
Enough horseplay, Wake. You deliver the manuscript, and you can have your woman back. Simple as that.
I don't... Listen. Listen. I'm gonna need time to finish it. I still need to write the ending. I need a week.
Not done?
I need a week.
2 days. The old Bright Falls coal mine is nearby. You can find it easy, city boy. The main building, there at noon. You bring the manuscript, you get your wife. Not, well, get me.
Yes, I get you.
The birds! I mean, the single-player challenges were fun.
They had talked about birds over the phone.
Flash. No flashbangs yet. Yeah, but I did stream kinda. My streaming is more erratic. Okay, since I don't get to take any of this with me, I might as well pop all the flares and fire the flare gun, almost undoubtedly breaking every fire safety rule in the state.
Hey, Al. I'm sorry for thinking you were having a psychotic episode, man.
I love that line.
To the town to ask around about a man fitting the kidnapper's description. He'd go through the archives of the local paper. Perhaps he could learn something. Anything about the island and the cabin that had disappeared. The man wanted a manuscript. I had to try to write him one to get Alice back. For me, the supernatural had always been nothing but a metaphor for the human psyche, a tool to use in writing fiction. Now, it was happening for real, and I couldn't put a single word on paper.
Barry Wheeler speaking.
This is Rose.
Rose?
I found Mr. Wake's pages.
Oh, you sweet, brilliant girl.
Could you and Mr. Wake come get them? I live in the trailer park outside the town.
We'll be there in less than an hour. See you soon.
Have a great day. Hope you come back soon. Welcome to the old
dear diner.
Good girl.
Now the sound of copyright claim. Which I really shouldn't get claimed for the music that's in the game that's covered under fair use in the first place. But it's been fun. Interval, thanks for stopping by. My lurkers that were in the chat on and off, thanks for stopping by. YYT, thanks, and Angela, when you get to watching this, happy birthday again. I am signing out.